Hello, everyone, and welcome to the USL Insight, where we speak mostly on the USL Championship. Some big news came out for the US Open Cup, and that is that the US Open Cup is going to be streamed for the last couple of rounds exclusively on Apple TV. Now, this could be good news or bad news, depending on how you look at it, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But before that, just real quick, if you like the USL Championship, anything USL Soccer, please give this video a like. It really helps me out, helps with the algorithm. But yeah, let's get into it. Now, the US Open Cup is America's longest running tournament. It has a lot of rich history, which started back in 1914. And what it is for, lower league clubs to come compete against higher league clubs. And we have seen that time and time again before. But this year was a little bit different because this is the year that MLS said, hey, you know what? We don't want to participate anymore. And there was a little bit of a battle going on in which the US Soccer came out and said, no, you have to. Then they went back and said, okay, not every single one of you has to compete. And they ended up just having 8 teams come into the tournament. And they didn't come in until later on when all of the lower league teams kind of already faced each other. And so this is a year where things got really interesting. They got a lot of people talking about the Open Cup. I think now because of this, the US Open Cup has gotten a lot more exposure. But like I had said recently, it was just announced that Apple TV Plus is going to have the US Open Cup games for free. Now, if it's free, it's for me. But yeah, with that, it comes with some exclusive content, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I had read, it was going to have like commentary. It was going to have before and after commentary on the matches, which I think is a good thing. I think that's what the US Open Cup needs. I think this tournament needs that type of exposure. It needs more eyeballs in it. And if it's going to be free, that's already a win. Another thing that could be is that MLS could be freaking out like, hey, our season pass numbers are not that good. Honestly, I like to believe they're not. The numbers are not out there, but I think it's not doing as well as they thought or as well as they hoped for. Because honestly, guys, I haven't heard any of my friends come out and say, hey, did you get MLS season pass? Or did you see this game on MLS season pass? Like, you need to get this game. I've never heard anyone say that. Honestly, I've never even heard anyone say you need to get Apple TV. That's one of the lowest streaming services that I personally have heard of, where people talk about it like, hey, this show is on there, can you get it, or this or that. And I know season pass is different, but still, just people talking about it, I haven't heard it. With the exception of Ted Lasso, but that already kind of went down. There's really nothing there. Concerning all of the other streaming platforms, I haven't heard anything. And plus, you already have a lot of people just say, I'll just watch the highlights on YouTube. So it very well could be that MLS freaked out and said, you know what, we need to get something on us. We need to get eyeballs. And what else could be? Let's give them a taste of the Open Cup. Our teams are competing now, so let's give it out to the people. And then hopefully they're thinking, okay, because we have them on here, maybe they'll subscribe to MLS. We'll get that casual fan. Now, that is one way to look at it. Another way to look at it, and this is how I took it when I first heard of this announcement. Originally, I thought that MLS said, hey, because MLS right now is giving that scumbag vibe. It's giving that vibe that they don't care about U.S. soccer. They really don't. All they care about is the green, which I understand. I completely get because it is a business. But I took it as MLS saying, we don't want to have our teams compete. Okay, you guys said we can't have our teams not compete, so we're going to give you the bare minimum, and we still want, because Don Garber and others were a part of the viewership, of how viewership was going to be before it exposed. So what he's saying is we want it on our platform. We want the US Open Cup on our platform still, so that we can put out nothing. We can do the bare minimum and still get all of everything in return. You're still going to have people going to them to season pass. You're still going to have them on their network, and they're still going to be able to get all of the benefits, essentially. So that is how I took it. I took it as MLS saying, you know what? Yeah, we're not going to go with you guys, but you guys still have to come to us. But all in all, whether it be bad publicity or good publicity, it is still publicity. And the Open Cup right now, what I think everyone across the board really wanted the Open Cup to get was the exposure. MLS said, okay, it doesn't have that much, so why do we want to compete? Why do we want to have our teams play in that? And the USL and other leagues said, we want to have exposure so that people know that our team exists. So if you look at it that way, it could be overall a good thing for both, because now you're going to have eyeballs on it. It's free. Like I said, it's on a large platform. I mean, I personally believe that it's still the lowest of the platforms, but it's still a very large platform. And like I had mentioned before, it's free. So I hope that it's going to have underneath the sports section or the, kind of like the Explorer page, the Explorer page that these platforms have of things going on, you will see the Open Cup. You will see soccer being labeled, because if they don't do that, I think it's going to be just foolish to have no sort of advertisement for the tournament. So I truly believe that it will have that, and people will be like, okay, you know what? There's soccer going on. Let me check it out. And because of that, you will have a new set of eyes, a new set of people watching this tournament. And I think that is something that collectively, overall, both parties wanted, which is just to have more eyeballs, to have it grow. And we shall see if it will, because you have other tournaments happening. And I mean, soccer is the beautiful game. You have the Olympics, you have the Copa America, and then you have the World Cup. And the US Open Cup is only going to help. It's only going to be more beneficial, more competition. And so, yeah, depending on how you look at it, it could be a win-win for both. But yeah, guys, what do you guys think about the overall announcement? Are you for it or are you against it? Would you have liked to see it somewhere else, or are you okay with it being sort of on MLS's platform, if you will, kind of say? Let me know in the comments. Are you going to subscribe to it? Are you going to watch the Open Cup? Have you been keeping up with it? Do you think an MLS team is going to win, or a USL Championship team? If you haven't already, check out my poll. I asked that question, and so let me know what you guys think there. But thank you guys for watching. Please like this video. It really helps me out, and I will see you all on the next one.